The if function is like the oxygen of Excel, essential and used everywhere. In this video, you will learn everything you need to know about it. That is, you will learn the three forms or types of the if function, as well as the modern and simplified version, all here in this video. Before we see actual examples, let's first see the general format. That is simple. First, you write the name of the function, which is the word if itself. Then, open and close parentheses. Inside the parentheses, you basically enter three inputs separated by commas. The first input is your condition or statement, comma. Then, the second input, which is any value you want to display if the statement is true. Let's call it value if true, comma. Then, the third input, which is any value you want to display if the statement is false. Let's call that value if false. Now let's see what that looks like with examples. You can use the if function in any context. For this tutorial, we are using this table of invoices with columns such as invoice number, invoice amount, amount paid, and due date. Let's say you want to add an additional column to show the payment status of each invoice and name this new column payment status. To determine the payment status for each invoice, you can use the if function. You only need to write the formula just once for the first invoice. So select the first cell here. Once you select the cell, you can finish the formula in the formula bar. All formulas start with an equal sign. So equals. Since we are writing the if function here, and all functions start with the name of the function, type if. And function names are always followed by open and close parentheses. Inside the parentheses, you type the inputs, starting with the statement or condition. Here, since we are checking if the amount paid covers the invoice amount, which, in other words, means if the invoice is fully paid. For the statement, we type C2 is greater than or equal to B2. C2 is the cell reference of the amount paid here, and B2 is the cell reference for the invoice amount. So, this expression tells Excel to check if the amount paid covers the invoice amount, comma. Then, enter the second input, which can be something like fully paid. That will be displayed if the statement is true, comma. Then enter the third input, which can be something like unpaid. That will be displayed if the statement is false. That means if the paid amount is less than the invoice amount. That is it. Now, when you press enter on your keyboard, you will see the result for the first invoice. For the remainder of the invoices, just point to the bottom right corner of the first cell until you see this fill handle that looks like a cross. Then double-click or drag your mouse to the last row, and boom. Now you know which invoices are fully paid or unpaid just by looking at this column. All right, this if function works only in a simplistic scenario, where only two outcomes are expected, in this case, fully paid or unpaid. That, of course, follows the general format of the if function. Value if statement is true and value if statement is false. But sometimes you encounter a situation where more than two outcomes are expected. In that case, you can replace the value if false part by another if function, nested inside the main function. That means if the first statement is false, Excel jumps to the nested function and checks if a different statement is true or false. Depending on that, Excel displays one of the next two inputs provided inside the nested function, value if true or value if false. Technically, Excel allows you to nest up to 64 if functions, but generally it is not recommended to nest more than 5 to 10 functions, as it can get hard to read when too many functions are nested. Now let's see that with an example. As usual, you start with an equal sign, then if, followed by parentheses. Inside the parentheses, you write a statement or condition. Let's use the same example, which was C2 is greater than or equal to B2. Again, that is checking if payment covers invoice amount, comma. If that is true, we want the second input, which is fully paid, to be displayed, comma. If the statement is false, that means if not fully paid, we want to see if at least a partial payment is made. To do that, we again open another if function, like so. Inside the parentheses of this nested function, you enter another statement. Like C2 is greater than 0. That means we are checking if there is at least some payment, comma. If that is true, we want to show something like partially paid, comma. Then the next input, such as unpaid, which will be shown if nothing is paid. That is it. When you press enter, you get the status for this first row. Expand it to the remainder of the invoices. Like so. Now you have invoices marked fully paid, partially paid, and unpaid. Now, as the number of nested if functions grows, it can become hard to read. So, Excel introduced a modern, much cleaner and easier version of the if function, which is called the ifs function. Let's rewrite this nested function using the ifs function. Start with the equal sign as always. Then, the name of the function, which in this case is ifs, followed by parentheses. Inside the parentheses, all you have to do is enter each statement and result, all separated by commas. So, in our case, our first statement is C2 is greater than or equal to B2. Again, that is checking if invoice is fully paid, comma. If that statement is true, we want Excel to show fully paid, comma. Then, we directly type the second statement, which is C2 is greater than 0. That is checking if any payment is made, even if it does not cover the full invoice, comma. If that is true, we want Excel to show partially paid, comma. Then, the next statement, which can be C2 is equal to 0. That means no payment is made. If that is true, we want Excel to show unpaid. And that is it. As you can see here, the name of the function, ifs, is used only once at the beginning. No nested function is needed. If you apply this to all the rows, you get the status for each invoice, as before. All right. So far, conditions, or statements, are tested one after the other. That means Excel first checks the first statement. If that statement is false, it moves to the next statement, and so on. But sometimes, two or more statements must be checked at the same time, not one after the other. That takes us to the third type of if function, where multiple statements are checked simultaneously. In this specific example here, in addition to the amount paid, the due date is also an important piece of information, because an invoice that is not paid and not due yet is different from an invoice that is not paid and also overdue. You can use the if function to take care of that. As usual, start with an equal sign, followed by the name of the function, which is if, followed by parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we write the first input. This first input will check two conditions at the same time. So, we use the end function here, which is written as the word end, followed by parentheses. Inside this parentheses, you enter your statements, separated by a comma. Here, let's say we are only interested in identifying overdue invoices. Then, your first statement can be C2 is less than B2. That means the invoice is not fully paid, comma. Then, we enter the second statement to check if the invoice is overdue. So, we enter D2 is less than today. Let's clarify a couple of items here. D2 here is the due date, and the expression today, followed by an empty parentheses, is a simple function that represents today's date. Whatever today is. That means, here, we are checking to see if the due date is less than today. In other words, if the due date is in the past. In that case, the invoice is overdue. To see the combined statements as a whole, on the one hand, you are checking to see if payment is not fully paid. That is, C2 is less than B2. At the same time, you are checking if the invoice is overdue. That is, D2 is less than today. That makes the first input for the if function, comma. Now, if both statements are true, the entire combined statement will be true. In that case, we want Excel to return or display overdue, comma. Otherwise, that means if the combined statement is false, Excel will execute or display whatever you enter as a third input here. As usual, you can enter anything for the third input, or leave it blank. If you want to leave it blank or empty, for example, just type quotation marks with nothing inside, like so, and that is it. Apply that to the rest of the rows. You can now see overdue only for invoices that are not fully paid and overdue. Just FYI, today, the day I am recording this video, is April 4, 2026. If you, for example, see this spreadsheet anytime after tomorrow, you will notice Excel updates and marks more invoices overdue. Just a quick note here. When you combine statements or conditions with and, the combined statement will be true only if all statements are individually true. If at least one statement is false, the entire combined statement becomes false. In some cases, you may want to combine statements using or instead of and. When combining statements with or, the combined statement will be true when at least one statement is true. The combined statement becomes false only when all statements are false. Here you have it. Now you can handle any scenario where different outcomes depend on different conditions. A little practice will build your confidence. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.